Hello there, my name is Louise Shields and I'm the head teacher at the Barnhurst Federation of Schools. We've put this video together for you to hopefully help you make a very important decision that you've got coming up. We know that parents are now looking at schools trying to make a decision about which school will be best for their child for September, and we know that unfortunately parents haven't been able to visit schools as they normally would. So what I hope is through this video it will help to give you a real taste of Barnhurst and what we have to offer you and your children. I'd like to start off by introducing you to some of the people who will be involved in the admissions process for our new reception children next year. So to introduce myself a little bit more, my name is Louise Shields and I'm the head teacher at Barnhurst. I've been at Barnhurst for 2 years now, just coming up to 2 years, and love our school very much. I'm very proud of our school and our whole community. Before working at Barnhurst, I was the deputy head teacher at Lesness Heath Primary School, which is not too far from Barnhurst, and then before that worked in different schools in Greenwich and Lewisham in various roles. I am fortunate enough to have taught during my teaching career from nursery right the way up to year 6, and early years, so nursery and reception, are a real passion of mine. I feel very strongly about getting things right for children right from the beginning. As well as being a teacher, I'm also a mum. I have 4 children of my own, and so have now been in your position where you're making a decision about your child's school 4 times, and they're now doing secondary schools and sixth form colleges. So I'm very aware of the decision making processes that you're going through at the moment. To introduce you to other members of our team, we have Tamara Hunter. She's our deputy head teacher and has been at Barnhurst for 1.5 years. Barbara Eagles is one of our assistant head teachers. Louise Neves is an assistant head teacher with a responsibility for inclusion, so with children who have special educational needs or medical needs would be Louise Neves would be the person to talk to. We also have Mrs Evans. Mrs Evans is our family engagement and wellbeing leader. Her role is very much about working with families, supporting families, making sure that there's a really good tight link between home and school. And then finally Mrs Moore. Mrs Moore is our nursery teacher this year, but is also our early years leader, and she's heavily involved in the admissions process and the settling in process for our children. At Barnhurst, our mission statement is believing, achieving, succeeding together. This was something that all of the staff wrote together at Barnhurst as our pledge to our children. We ensure our children have a real sense of belief in themselves and their abilities. We believe in all of our children and the unique individuals that they all are. We want our children to achieve the best they possibly can, but equally as important, we want them to develop the skills and attitudes that they're going to need in order to be successful throughout their lives, such as resilience and perseverance. Our inspiring and challenging curriculum helps to provide children with what they will need to lead happy and successful lives, playing an active part in the future as global citizens. This is the Barnhurst Values Compass. The compass was created after the whole school community, parents, staff and children voted on which values they would like to be at Barnhurst. The compass is used by our whole community, staff and children, to guide us in everything that we do. We teach our children the importance of resilience and the importance of never giving up, even when we think we can't. We all have a saying, we can't do it yet. We teach our children the value of equality and ensuring that everybody is treated fairly. We want our children to have the courage to have a go and to also have the courage to be the voice to stand up for something that they believe to be right. We also teach our children about the importance of the value of kindness. Our children know that kindness costs nothing, and they appreciate the difference that a small act of kindness can make for everybody. What makes our school special? Well, I think there are lots of things that make our school a very special place to be. The most important thing that makes our school special are the 472 children that come to our school every day. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the other things that go on at Barnhurst, which I think makes it a very special and unique place. So first of all, you may be aware that both the infant school and the junior school have been graded outstanding by Ofsted. This was a huge achievement for the school and one that the school is rightly proud of. However, it isn't something that we take for granted or something that we are complacent in. We know as a school we continually need to be striving forward, reviewing what we're doing and thinking about what we can do differently to improve the education for our children. If you follow our Twitter, you may well be aware of the success we've had in sport historically. Barnhurst is well known throughout Bexley for the excellent sport provision that it provides. We've had many successes in football, girls and boys, in hockey, in rugby, all various different sports, and our aim is to ensure that every child finds a sport that they love. We're very lucky that we have specialist teachers who come into school to share their knowledge and experience with our children. We have a dance teacher who comes in and works with the children, hockey, cricket, and we also have a specialist music teacher who comes and delivers lessons to our children. So our children really benefit from expertise and specialism. You'll see in the middle there is a symbol of our people, our world and our choices, and that's because our curriculum at Barnhurst is underpinned and driven through global citizenship. We help our children to learn and develop the skills that they need to be global citizens of the future. And you'll see later on the page that there is a video slide that gives you some more information about our global citizenship curriculum. You'll see at the bottom left-hand corner there, one of our children enjoying his experiences in our forest school. We have two large forest schools at Barnhurst, one for the infants and one for the juniors. Forest school is a great place to get children outside with nature, but is also great for helping children learn about those important skills such as collaboration and sharing and teamwork and risk-taking. So all of our children at Barnhurst, from nursery right up to year 6, experience forest school and will go to forest school once every 2 weeks. In the centre there you'll see a photograph of one of our wellbeing workshops. Wellbeing is something as a school that we feel very passionately about. We know that mental health matters and that children need to be in the right place emotionally in order to be able to learn. So we work with children and families to help them to develop their emotional well-being, and we run extensive parent workshops. Unfortunately, these have been slightly hindered at the moment with COVID, but lots of workshops about how to support your children's well-being, but also other workshops such as supporting reading. We've run maths courses for parents, so various courses to get parents involved in school life and to be able to support their children. On the bottom right there, you'll see a photo of some of our nursery children enjoying a trip to the farm. At Barnhurst, we believe in giving children lots of experiences both inside the classroom and outside the classroom. We plan extensive trips to enhance our curriculum so that children really get those great experiences that they'll remember for the rest of their lives. And then finally, you've got a photograph of 3 children. These three girls were actually having their above and beyond hot chocolates, and that's because at Barnhurst we know that there are lots of children that are doing great things and achieving great things, and every Friday all of the children that have gone above and beyond expectations in their learning and with their attitudes come for a hot chocolate with Mrs. Shields or Mrs. Hunter, where we can share all of the wonderful things that they've been doing. We know at Barnhurst that every child is unique and is an individual, and through these ways we get to recognise all of those wonderful things that children do every day in their classroom. We know how vitally important it is that your children leave Barnhurst fully equipped and ready for their next stage of education at secondary school. It's so vital that children have grasped a really good understanding of English and maths. And you'll see from the table here, this shows how well our children have performed historically. You'll notice that there is no data for last academic year of how well our children achieved, and that's because of coronavirus, we were unable to do the SATS assessments that we would normally do. From looking at the table, you'll see that Barnhurst children consistently outperform national expectations. The percentage of children who achieve above national expectations is much higher in all areas of learning. And you'll also see the percentage of children achieving above age-related expectations, so a greater depth of understanding is also higher than national expectations. We also look at that key indicator of the percentage of children who have achieved the age-related expectations in reading, writing and maths. We call this the combined, and you'll notice again our children outperform national expectations. We're very proud of how well our children do at Barnhurst, and we feel passionately that children should leave Barnhurst with excellent outcomes. We know the importance of getting it right from the start for your children. We value the importance of early education, and this is why as a school we've heavily invested in our early years provision. Our nursery, reception and year one classrooms have all been refurbished and have brand new exciting resources that provide a wonderful environment for your children to learn in. Mrs. Moore, our early years leader, is providing a video which you'll be able to watch. Will give you further information about our early years environments. Transition to school. This is something that parents often ask us about when we do show around tours, so I wanted to spend some time talking to you about that. We know that transition to school is a big step for children, and it's crucial that as a school we work in partnership with you. You are the expert in your children. You know your children better than we ever could dream of. So we want to make sure that we're working closely with you, getting the transition just right for your child. Throughout the transition process to school, your children will always come first at Barnhurst. We put them first in everything that we do and the decisions that we make. The transition process will start with a home visit, and this is when the teacher and the teaching assistant go and visit your child at home. They will give you time to talk about your child so that we can get to know them in a place where they feel the most comfortable. It's also a chance for you to tell us about any worries and concerns that you have. We will offer your children stay and play sessions when they can come, and you can leave them for short periods of time so that they can get used to being in their new environment. We start our transition process in September. Children first of all start off part-time. They do their first week where they'll be doing mornings only. In the second week they'll do all morning and then stay for lunch. And the reason that we do this is because children often find lunch times a bit unusual because they're going to somewhere else. They're not in their classrooms, they go to the dinner hall to have their lunch, and they have to get used to their new environment and perhaps new tastes and new foods. So we offer just lunchtime so that for that first week children can come. If they don't eat anything during lunchtime at school, they can go home and get some food. And then in the final week, the third and final week, we would have the children starting full time. However, if children were not settling or if parents had concerns, then we would ask parents to come and have a conversation with us. But from our experience, children really are ready and get stuck in from that third week back full time. How to apply. All of the admissions for reception for next September are handled through Bexley Council, and you'll see on the slide here there is a link that will take you to the application form. So if your child is born between the 1st of September 2016 and the 31st of August 2017, then you can apply for your child, and you can apply any time up until the 15th of January. allocations. All of the allocations for reception places are handled through Bexley. If you want to know what our allocation criteria is, then if you look on the Bexley website, that will give you further information about what criteria Bexley will use to admit children into Barnhurst. If you have a child who is currently in our nursery classes, you will need to apply for a reception place. Just because children are in our nursery does not automatically grant them a place in our reception classes, so you will need to complete the application form. If your child has a siblings in a junior school, you will be doing an application to the infant school, but they are seen as a link school. So that means that even if your child has a sibling in the juniors, they're still classed as a sibling link, but you need to detail that on your application. One thing to note, that if your child does get a place at Barnhurst, you will need to reapply for a place at Barnhurst Junior School. Some parents worry that their child won't get a place in the junior school, but we have never had a situation where that has happened. That's not something the governing body is allowed to happen. So please be rest assured that that is the first criteria on our admissions for the junior school. Barnhurst is an oversubscribed school, and you'll see, as I said before, the criteria for admitting children is in the admissions booklet on Bexley website. Last year we had 344 applicants for 60 places, so I would urge parents, if you are very keen on choosing Barnhurst, then please do put Barnhurst as your first choice. So that was a very brief introduction to Barnhurst. I hope you found some of it useful. You'll see on the web page we've provided videos of various other things in order to help you make a decision that will be best for your child. But we really hope that you'll be picking Barnhurst as the school for your child for next September, and we really look forward to working with you. If you have any further questions or there's anything that you want to know, please do get in touch with us through the school office and we'll happily get back to you. Thanks so much for your time. Goodbye.